What is up, and welcome back to, I almost said the Vegas career. It's not the Vegas FC career anymore. No, indeed, we are actually moving away from Vegas, and I have chosen a new team that we're going to move to. We're going to head overseas to England, and we're not headed to the Premier League. I think we already discussed that we wouldn't be doing that. Going straight from MLS to the Prem doesn't really make a lot of sense. We're not going to the Championship either. No, we're actually going to go to League One. We're touching down in the greater Manchester area, where our new team is going to be 14th place, Wigan Athletic. And this comes with some challenges. Wigan in real life have had some financial issues the last 4-ish years, up until recently when they got bought out by a local billionaire. However, in game, we're now in 2026, and those funds have not yet really come into play for Wigan, as you can kind of tell by them still kind of wasting away in League One. So our objective coming in January is to try to earn promotion, which you think starting in 14th place isn't going to be easy, and it's not, especially still working with a pretty small budget. But if you look at the standings, we have 36 points. Charlton Athletic are on 43, so it's only a 7-point gap to 6th place, and we have a game in hand. Now, what they want to actually do is get automatic promotion. I'm not sure that's possible. Even with 20 games left to play, making up a 15-point gap does not seem feasible given what we're starting with. But I do think a playoff promotion spot could possibly be in the cards for us here. Now, the reason I said the automatic promotion might not be on the cards is because of their current roster. They have 22 players on their current senior team, and 8 of which are either a striker or a right winger. We are missing a lot of key pieces here. They have 4 total midfielders. Not great. They only have 3 center backs, 2 of which are youth players in Patrick Campbell and Domingo Salinas. Salinas is a 5'9" center back. Not exactly what I would typically go for. Campbell is 5'11", so not terrible. And then they have Jason Kerr, who is clearly their best center back option and 70 rated, and at least he's over 6 foot. And then goalkeeper wise, they have a couple of decent goalkeepers for this level. Sam Tickle is probably the one I'm going to go with, and he might still have a little potential to him, so we might use him all the way into the championship. So at least goalkeeper is somewhat sorted depending on how Sam Tickle plays. I'm hoping I don't have to address that situation. Now, we haven't actually signed on with Wigan yet. That's because I wanted to do one more thing with Vegas before we left, and that is go through the youth academy and promote any players that maybe we could take a look at once we get to Wigan. Given that these players are pretty young and not very good yet, with our limited transfer budget over there, we might be able to swing some deals for these younger players. So the first one I want, possibly, is Will Bliss. I just moved him from striker to left wing. He went from 51 to 59, has good potential, 82 to 88. So we'll go ahead and promote him to the senior team. And then the other one that I didn't know I was going to be able to do, but he did just turn 16, is DeAndre Thompson, the goalkeeper. I know I just said I wasn't going to be looking at moving or making a change at the goalkeeper position. Didn't know DeAndre Thompson was 16. I thought he was still going to be 15. I signed him just at the end of last season. He just ticked over to 16 years old. He has incredible potential. He's 6'5". Definitely, if I can get him, I'm going to, because he looks incredible. That being said, I don't think there's really any other players in here. I mean, most of these players' potentials would be good for us at the beginning, but there's no one that's really, really screaming for me to promote. So I think that's it. We'll just go with Will Bliss and DeAndre Thompson, and we'll leave Vegas alone. And when I say we're going to leave Vegas alone, I don't mean that we're not going to look at any more of their players, because we absolutely are. Over the course of the last 6 months with Vegas, I promoted a lot of the young players with the idea that we can look at them once we choose a new team. So we can go through some of them here. We're definitely going to have to look at the lower value players because we do not have a lot of money to spend at Wigan. But players like Luke Sullivan, he's 54 rated, but does have plenty of potential. They might be worth picking them up for the future and then either developing them and using them, or selling them on for a profit. That's kind of where we're at now with Wigan. Remember, in MLS, we didn't have to go through that whole try to make money so that we can spend money process, because that's not how MLS works. Now that we're going to England, that very much is going to be part of the process, and we're going to have to keep our eyes out for good value in buying players, some people that we can flip for profits, and Vegas I think does have quite a few of them, such as Danny Ortega would be another good one. Ethan Nelson, I mean, we're looking for center mids anyway, so Ortega and Nelson could be players that we bring in and actually are usable and then sell for profit. Lapane, probably not. Joshua Jackson, we need center backs. He's 61 rated, only 775K, another player that we definitely could take a look at. There's Will Bliss, who we just promoted with Vegas. 59 rated, worth almost $1 million. That's kind of pushing the limit of what I'm willing to spend on one player with Wigan. But again, a player with lots of potential and less than $1 million right now could be someone we go for. Jabril Cook, who you know we promoted last year. We switched his position from center back to center mid. Now 61 rated. Maybe affordable for us. Anyone else in here that we might be taking a look at? You notice we haven't gotten to DeAndre Thompson yet. There's Darius Jackson, so we promoted, I think, 2 years ago, but we didn't play with wingers, so he never got a chance to play with us. Does have quite good potential, but he's also worth $2 million. There's DeAndre Thompson, $2.4 million. Can't afford him. There's zero chance we can afford him, at least until we get to the championship. So that pipe dream is a little bit dead in the water. There's Brian Thompson, though I don't think I want to bring him to Wigan, so he's good to stay at Vegas if he wants to. Tanner Young, good young center back that played the majority of the season in the first team last year for us. Just out of our price range, almost $4 million. That's like 2/3 of our transfer budget. Can't bring him in yet. Elijah Just, hey, he wants out of Vegas. Would love to bring him over, but yeah, he's worth way too much. And then there's Christian Kuyame. You want to know how we walked through the playoffs last year and we won everything? Kuyame's worth $100 million. We have a $100 million player in his prime playing in MLS. Kind of a cheat code, isn't it? So here is the job opening for Wigan. Their transfer budget is just over $6 million. For comparison, our budget for Vegas next year would have been $33 million. Although for MLS, that really doesn't make that much of a difference. With Wigan, it does. In England, we just need to make as much money as possible. And once we get to the championship, we might get a little bit of an injection of funds from our billionaire owner. Not full takeover money, but definitely some more flexibility in that budget once we can get promoted. That's, again, if we get promoted this season, because if we don't, we might get fired. That could be a problem. But this is the job we're going to go for. Let's go ahead and apply for it. Let's wait until we actually get the job. Then we can move over to Wigan. All right, so this is how they have their team set up. It's a 4-2-3-1 wide. And already I'm seeing things that I really don't like. First off, right away, Humphreys, their best striker, is playing out wide on the right, which is a position he can play. However, they have like a million right-sided players. I'm not sure putting your best striker out there is really the best way to go. They have Lang playing center attacking mid, which again is a position he can play. But that leaves one of their best players in Asgard on the bench. I'm not really sure about that. He can actually play left mid, which is a position of need here. And they have 56 rated McManaman playing on the left. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes we make to this team. They actually have some good pieces here. I do think that even with minimal additions, and with our budget, there are going to be just minimal additions. But I think that making the playoffs is really not out of the realm of possibilities. There's some things to build off of here. So I have gone ahead and shortlisted all of the players from Vegas that I would be interested in bringing over to Wigan. Slight problem here. Every single one of them is not willing to relocate. No one wants to move right now. Not a single one of them. Even players like Darius Jackson, who have been on loan multiple times, and I know I loaned him out outside of the country at least once. Even he is not willing to relocate. So I can't buy a single player from Vegas, at least not this transfer window, which kind of just sets us back to square one for January. And I'm not really sure what we're going to do. And after nearly 2 hours of sifting through free agents and trying to figure out what we can come up with here, I kind of have come to the conclusion that given that we only have $6 million to play with in January of this year, we're going to go with just free agents. Just free signings. because I'd rather get a couple of decent players in now, fight for promotion, and use some money to start our youth academy to get some more players in for the future that can also turn us a little bit of a profit down the road. So that is the plan for right now. And as you can see, there's some pretty good free agents in here. So let's see what we got. Now, before we get into this list, let me just preface this by saying, given that we are a League One team in England, it would not make sense for us to go crazy signing a lot of foreign players. In fact, in our current roster, there are only 3 players that are from outside of England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. Our entire team are from those 5 nations, with the exception of 3, and one of those is a youth academy player that just got called up. So if we do sign or if we do sign foreign players at all from outside of those 5 nations, they would have to be very few and far between at the moment, and they would have to be impact players. The only 2 players that have been signed from outside of those 5 countries are Thilo Asgard, who is 71 rated, and I can't remember his name. He's the right back that's playing center back, but he's the highest rated player in the team at 73. So that's kind of the level that we're at. If we're going to go foreign, we're going to have to make sure that they're very, very top quality signings. I'm also going to sprinkle some Americans in there. Being an American manager, it would make sense to also look for that nation. So that's kind of what our guidelines are moving forward. Also, you can see players like Aratz Cruz here, 81 rated, valued at 32.5 million. He's going to want, I didn't mean to click on him. We're not going to sign him. He's going to want a contract north of probably 20,000. And our top earners are on 10K, and it happens to be our captain, Callum Long, and Thilo Asgard. So, yeah, I'm not willing to go much more than 10K at the moment until we get to the championship. Then we'll reevaluate things. That's going to also limit what we can do here. But you know what? Since I kind of accidentally clicked on him, let's go ahead and offer him 12K. 12K, I think, is about the maximum I'm willing to go, and he is a center back, and we do need a center back. I just don't think there's any chance in hell he's actually going to sign this contract. So let's give him what? 250K sign. There's no chance this actually works, right? Let's just submit it. I think he's going to walk away. I'm kind of hoping he walks away, to be honest. He signed the deal. We signed an 81 rated center. Well, we're off to a good start. I'm so confused by what just happened. I guess let's look at our new center back, Aratz Cruz. He's very fast and very strong. He's only 5'11", so he's not very tall, but I mean, his physicals are absolutely ridiculous for 19 years old. And he's got probably close to 90 potential. Yeah, his technicals are outstanding. What else do you say? He's 81 rated, and he's now playing for us in League One. I kind of broke everything right off the bat, but yeah, okay. We'll work with this. I guess it's not a bad problem to have. It's just slightly unrealistic is all, and not what I was planning to do. But it's okay. It is what it is. You know, it's a happy little accident. I was actually planning on signing 2 center backs. I guess we're not really going to do that anymore. I mean, there were some center backs that were more, local that I was looking at, like Jesse Field or Mike Nesbitt or Patrick Anderson. All solid options. I was even looking at maybe Aaron Bell from the United States. Also looks pretty decent with some good potential to him. Justin De Vries was a 6'7" center back from the Netherlands. I really like the look of him as well. But yeah, I guess we're good at center back now. So moving on to the center mid position, I think we need to get at least 2 players here. One of them, I think, needs to be a starting quality CDM, given that the formation we play right now, at least to the end of the season, uses 2 CDMs. And I've narrowed it down to either Gavin Kilkenny, 70 overall from Ireland. He actually is a real player as well. And then Jimmy Roberts from the United States. Now, comparatively, I think Jimmy Roberts is the better CDM. Certainly defensively, he's a lot better with the defensive awareness and the standing tackle. Far superior to Gavin. Also, the fact that Jimmy Roberts is younger and still has a little bit of potential, so he could grow and means we could sell him on for more in the future. I think that's the way we're going to go. I think we're going to go for Jimmy Roberts here. I like Gavin. I just think everything else, it just makes more sense to go for Jimmy Roberts in this situation. And then I also kind of want to go for a little bit more of an attack-minded midfielder, not a center attacking mid, but more of a attack-minded center mid in case we want to bring him in off the bench late in games. Or if we switch the formation, he could play as a playmaking center mid. And I think Dominic Sutton fits that role pretty well. His physicals look pretty good. He's pretty well-rounded there. And he looks pretty decent in the technicals at only 19 years old. He's going to grow. And if nothing else, just like Jimmy Roberts, we could sell him on for a decent profit down the road, if nothing else. So with the new additions, this is where the team stands. I have Sutton playing center attacking mid for the moment. I think we should still probably look to get another maybe center attacking mid in there. Just for depth. I don't know if Sutton's going to be the starter or if we find someone else to play there. Or we can even look for a left or right mid because both Asgard and Lang can both play center attacking mid. So we have options. It's a very fluid situation in that midfield, but we got Smith and Roberts now playing CDM. Across the back, it's Sessegnon, Cruz. I still can't believe we have Cruz in this team. It looks so ridiculous. We have Kerr and Bokele swings back out wide now with the addition of Cruz. Tickle still in between the sticks. And the bench is actually looking pretty good as well. I mean, we still don't have a lot of depth down here, but it's looking pretty good. And I think the last player we're going to pick up is going to be Aiden Baker. 68 rated, center attacking mid, can also play left mid. So kind of fits that versatile player that this whole team is kind of consists of. I really like the look of him. He's got the trickster playstyle. I've never had anyone that's had that playstyle before. He also is relentless. I like him. I like the look of him a lot. He's got decent physicals. I think he could actually do pretty well out wide on the left-hand side if we needed him to play there. His technical ability looks pretty solid as well. Really, really good ball control. He also can cross the ball at 60 crossing. Not great, but it's serviceable again if we have to play him out on the left. So I like the look of him. I think he still has pretty good potential to him as well. So let's get him signed up. So I decided to have a look at the expiring contracts. Thankfully, this year we don't have any, but we do have some expiring after next year, and some decent players are in here, specifically Jason Kerr, Callum Lang, and Stephen Humphreys. Everyone else down here, I feel like, is very replaceable. And probably, if we do get promoted, probably aren't good enough for the championship, if we're being honest. Stephen Humphreys, I feel like, certainly isn't irreplaceable either. The issue is I just don't have anyone to replace him. I have nothing in the club at the moment that I feel like is a better option than Stephen Humphreys. Certainly in the offseason, we could take a look at this. So I'm probably not going to re-sign him yet, because at least he does have one more year left. But I'm very much on the fence on whether or not we should keep him or not. Callum Lang is the captain. I'm most definitely going to re-sign him. I feel like he'd still be good enough in the championship. Maybe not a top player, but certainly good enough to fill some minutes in for us somewhere in the team. He's also very versatile, so definitely worth keeping around. Jason Kerr, I'm leaning towards no. Just because the wages are a little bit up there with $7,600 per week in wages. He doesn't have any more potential at 70 overall. Good veteran player at 28. Certainly not a bad player. I think he could maybe be a squad player next year. I don't know. It's going to depend on what the wages are. And I think just like Humphreys, we're going to wait until the offseason to re-sign him. I probably will go ahead and try to get a deal done for Callum Lang, though. We are set for our first match with Wigan, and it's actually an FA Cup match against Bristol City, who for some reason I thought was a league below us. Turns out they're a league above us in the championship. So we're going to roll the first team out there. We have a week between games. Rest shouldn't be an issue. Honestly, whatever happens in the FA Cup, I don't really care. I'm not really planning on making a cup run this year. Our only objective is to try to earn promotion, either through the playoffs or through automatic promotion. This is just going to be a good test match for us with our first game in charge. Oh, that's a good ball in. Good save, Sam Tickle. Out up the wing. Nicely done. Oh, Asgard, that's a terrible touch. You got to do better than that. Bristol right back in. He's got to be offside, right? He is definitely offside. Ooh. Had my heart going, but he was offside. We played it right. That was good defending, sort of. Oh, back heel. Oh, yo, what is Bristol City? Yo, big save from Sam Tickle. I almost call him Sam Trickle. Oh, that's a good ball. That's a really good ball. Yo, That's Cruz. What a freaking block, man. He is ridiculously good. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but my goodness. I didn't even have a center back that good when I was in Vegas. He is something different. Love that. Good ball for Asgard to Humphreys. Humphreys have a shot. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be, it was a very low percentage shot, but it was a shot on target. We needed to get something on target, at least test the keeper here. Now Bristol City's coming back the other way, and I'm a little scared. Don't like it. Still don't like it. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're less 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 good. And we're good again. Okay, that was a little bit terrifying. All right, corner for us here. It's going to be Baker to take it. Whips it in for Kerr. Actually won the header. Not bad. Let's try that again. Or not. That's halftime. That was a bit disrespectful, but okay. Hey, we didn't concede in the first half. And we had, I think, 2 shots on target now with that header from Kerr. So, you know what? We're building them. You know, it's just our first game in charge. We're just kind of getting a feel for it. Oh, that dude is so fast. Woo! I'm telling, man, Bristol, they've had a lot of shots. A lot. Tickles made some good saves. They squandered some chances. I'm not sure how they haven't scored yet, but we're hanging in there. That was a good goal. Thought he was offside, which I didn't say anything, but yeah, they're just... They're faster, and they're just better. They're significantly faster. I can tell you that. They are way faster than us coming through the midfield. They're faster on the ball. They're faster to getting the loose balls. They're faster to close us down. They're just faster. And technically, yeah, a little bit better too. It's been a long time, you know, with Vegas. I haven't been in a situation where we've just gotten our asses handed to us. It's going to be a steep learning curve to learn how to lose again. I will say that. We didn't do a lot of losing in Vegas. Being in the 3rd division in England, there's like 50 teams better than us, at least. We're going to lose a lot in cup games, and I'm going to get pissed off a lot. That team was flat out in every aspect better than us, and that's a tough one to swallow. And I think we're going to actually end it there for today. Nice little introductory episode with Wigan. We got a game under our belts. Not a great game to start out with, but it gave me some things to think about. I think we'll do a lot better against teams in our own division, and we can get a lot better feel for the team once we get into League One play next episode. And now that we're out of the FA Cup, no more cup competitions to worry about. We're solely focused on the league, and that's kind of where we need to be to get back to the championship. We sit 6 points behind Charlton now with no games in hand. They must have played a game in between when I looked at the standings and when we got appointed manager. Actually, I can see that they did. They drew 1-1 with Barrow, who are 16th. That doesn't help us at all. But 6 points to make up. Just under 20 games left to play. It's doable. It's definitely doable, and I think our roster is in a good spot for League One right now. So that's where we're going to end it for today. If you did enjoy it and you're looking forward to our adventures here with Wigan, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new. I will see you when we come back for some more Wigan Athletic career. I almost said Vegas. It's not Vegas anymore. Wigan Athletic. See ya.